Do you remember taking part in the commemoration of the event in Abidjan to mark this anniversary? Answer, yes. Question, do you remember who else was present from the Defense and Security Forces? Answer, the 7th of August. Question, yes. Answer, all the generals were present. Question, when you are talking of all generals, who are you talking about? Answer, the generals of the army, the gendarmerie, and the police. Question, very well. Could you possibly remember those who were with you on that day? Answer, I didn't quite understand your question. Question, well, I will drop that. I will move to something else. It was the 7th of August and the 50th anniversary. Do you remember that a few days before that, several officers of the FDS were promoted, a large number of them? Answer, yes. Question, were you one of them? Answer, which year? Questions, we are still in August 2010. Answer, no. Question, do you remember the officers who were promoted at that time? Answer, that is really difficult, but there is a chart that is published. If I had it with me, I would tell you who was promoted. Question, very well. I put it to you that you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General in August 2010. Witness, yes, yes. Question, we are talking of August 2010. I'm asking this question because this morning you said 27. Answer, that was an error. Question, so you confirm that it was August 2010? Answer, yes.
Toujours au mois d'août.
Question. Still in August of the summer of 2010, do you specifically remember the events of the 27th of August, the inauguration of the Republican Security Company number 3 in Divo? Answer, yes. Question, were you there? Answer, yes. Question, can you tell us who else was present? Answer, each time the head of state traveled, you had the chief of staff, the superior commander, the director general of the police, the SEMA would be there. Question, do you remember whether there were any dignitaries from the Justice Department at that event? Answer, I no longer remember, but it is obvious that if it was the inauguration of a police unit, that would come under the Justice Department. Question, very well. Do you remember whether the President of the Constitutional Council was present? Answer, I no longer remember. Question, very well. Mr. Witness, if you remember, a short while ago, I showed you a document dated the 12th of October dealing with a meeting, a working session in the Umar Naud room, and this was within the framework of the electoral process. My question is this: how was security organized for the first round of the elections? Answer: for the first round of the elections, security was provided jointly with the FDS and the FAFN, as well as with the UN forces present in Côte d'Ivoire. Answer, or rather question, in this respect, can you explain to us the role of the gendarmerie? Answer, as I explained to you before, we have three forces in Côte d'Ivoire. One, the police; two, the gendarmerie; and three, the police. But in this particular case, the two armies, the FDS in the south and the FAFN in the north, the general staff members met, and then it was decided that the gendarmerie would provide this number of elements, and the army would provide so many under the authority of the CCI, and this would be under the authority of General Kwaku Nicolas, who is today a commander of a unit.
La gendarmerie.
Question, very well. And still within the gendarmerie, are you familiar with the setting up of a PC or command post for security during the elections? Answer, yes, I know about that. Question, in relation to that PC, I have document 00430448. It is number 113 on our list.
Je vous remercie. Si on peut agrandir.
Thank you. If we can enlarge it. Thank you. We can see that it is from the commander of the Abidjan North Company, and it is to all the units of the company. And then for information, the commander of the 1st Departmental Legion. Subject, and this was 2 weeks before the elections, establishment of security for the elections, and the commander is asking for acknowledgement of receipt of this message as well as the effective implementation. So what was the role of that PC for the security of elections within the gendarmerie? Answer, you can see the origin of the message. It is an officer, commander of the company, addressing himself to his elements, so it does not concern me. But the gendarmerie has a mission of protecting people and property, and if people are to assemble, they set up structures to follow up those who assemble, or to ask for reinforcements whenever necessary. Question, for us to understand, where was this PC, at what level was this PC established? Answer, the main PC was at the General Staff Headquarters of the armies, the Joint Staff Headquarters. Question, very well.
À cette époque,
during that period, as far as you know, were there any officers that were transferred to the gendarmerie? That is October 2010. Answer, officers? Question. I'm sorry, I simply meant elements, soldiers. Answer. No. In the gendarmerie, transfers are made by gendarmes and for gendarmes, and it does not concern external elements. Question. Very well. Now, within the gendarmerie itself, do you remember whether there were any new assignments or transfers in October, just before the elections? Answer. Every year, whether it is during an election year or not, the gendarmerie transfers officers and non-commissioned officers depending on service needs. So it is possible that such assignments were done at that time. Question. We are looking at a document 00430220. And that is number 57 on our list. Thank you. There we have a message, just like the last one. Can we zoom in a little bit for the witness? Thank you. It is from the Superior Commander of the National Gendarmerie, and it is to all units and services of the Gendarmerie. And you can see the date, the 25th of October, and the subject is security for the elections. At the bottom of the page, we can let's just scroll up a little bit again, not right to the end. Let's just scroll up a little bit to the beginning of the paragraph. Yes. It is stated here.
Just
Mr. Bugnon. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'm sorry to interrupt my learned friend, but given the previous examples that we had relating to documents, there was a wish that foundation questions should be asked before we go to the substance, given what we have experienced before.
Mr. McDonald?
Yeah, I'll field that question, Your Honor.
Can we fill it after lunch?
Let's
Good.
do that.
Let's
Thank
do
you.
it. So, we go for lunch. Mr. Witness, did you want to say something, Mr. Wombole?
Yes, I just want to give
Okay,
this to the
yeah, oh
court
yeah,
officers.
sure, yeah,
Okay,
please.
I'll hand it over. Just
Okay, to the court officer, then
Court
we get a number for it. We will communicate the number at the beginning of the next of the afternoon session. Now we go for lunch. We have 1 hour and a half of lunch break, and then we'll come back for the third and last for today 1 hour and a half session. Thank you very much. The hearing is adjourned.
All rise.